Hi, my name's Jack Rogers. I'm a CFA charter holder, and I've been for a number of years. And I'm here to discuss about my experience with Nathan Ronen and his company, Chalk and Board, and using their services in the course of my CFA journey. So I began my CFA journey years ago. I was still an undergrad. I went to Fresno State out in California, and they sponsored 5 people per year to take the CFA program, a level 1 exam. So I nominated myself. I spoke with the chair of the finance department, Dr. Chen, who was also a CFA charter holder. At that point in my life, he was the smartest guy I'd ever met and been around. So you can understand I was probably a little intimidated, going up to him and volunteering to be in the program. I wasn't sure if he was going to allow me to do so. He spoke to me for about 5 minutes about it and wanted to gauge how serious I was. And he decided to sponsor me. So, kudos to Dr. Chen for taking that gamble on me. And unfortunately, it was a bit of a gamble because I did not pass that exam the first time around. And, part of that's just being a student and underestimating how tough the exam is. And the other factor is I was taking 20 units. I had an internship. I had a part-time job working 20 hours a week. There really wasn't a whole lot of extra time to study. But I remember taking that exam, and I remember living in Fresno. They didn't offer it in Fresno, so you have to drive all the way to San Francisco to take that exam. And I remember seeing the material, and all of it looked familiar, but I also knew I wasn't going to pass that exam. And driving back to Fresno, that 3-4 hour drive, just a drive of shame, going across the Golden Gate Bridge, knowing that you failed the exam, just really stung. But I knew in my heart of hearts that if I put in the true work and the effort, that I could pass. Fast forward a little bit, I think I took it again the following year, and similar situation. I was in my first year of my career working in financial services, and just didn't dedicate enough time to study, and same exact result. Drive of shame back from San Francisco. Fast forward a number of years, I ended up moving out to New York, where I reside now, and I took a Kaplan course for level 1. And, I took it very seriously. I was in class every day. I did the homework and, was always up on the readings, read everything out of the Schweizer notes. And, I was able to pass that exam. And it was not really a tough experience because I put in the proper work. But I also knew that was level 1. And, the level 1 is just the elementary level. That's just getting your foot in the door. So you should be able to pass level 1 if you're putting in the right amount of time. So fast forward to level 2, I reached back out to the instructor that I had for level 1 because I noticed they were no longer listed in the Kaplan. And she flat out told me, said, hey, you know what, go look up Nathan Ronen and take his course. He's the best in the business. And she's an incredibly smart woman, and I took her advice, and I'm very glad I did. So for level 2, I took Nathan Ronen's course, and yeah, quite frankly, you're not going to find a better resource for covering that material in the depth, the complexity, as well as just the efficiency of covering it and the clarity of covering that information. Because some of that stuff, the derivatives, it gets pretty hairy. And I think we all have our strengths. Some of us maybe the derivatives isn't that tough for you. Maybe it's the accounting side that's tough for you. But we all have points in that exam where it's a little tough for us. And it's great to have somebody that can explain something to you and makes himself available to you one-on-one if you need a little extra coaching or mentoring in certain aspects, or maybe you keep getting don't understand why one of the questions answers is what it is, and you just need a little bit clarification on wrapping your head around a certain concept. He's there for that. I also took the boot camp that Nathan was offering at a time. If I recall correctly, I think it was a 3-day, 8 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if I recall correctly. It's been some years, so excuse my memory. It's about 6 weeks before the exam, and highly recommend it because you're condensing everything, right before the exam. You got about a 6-week window, so by that point, you're probably taking your practice exams and shoring up any weaknesses, and that review is just nice to have. Fast forward to I passed level 2, first chance, first shot, passed it. And I knew I passed it too. That's the level of confidence I had on exam day. Not to say it was easy, because it wasn't. But Fast forward to level 3, and I had that was a tough one, and I would definitely recommend level 3 going with Nathan in his course, because you're no longer multiple choice. You're expected to, write briefly about what the problem that you're facing, whether it's IPS or whether it's a asset allocation thing or a derivative or valuation. You're looking at all that stuff, and you need that guidance and coaching to know how to answer those problems, because it's one thing to know the material, it's another thing to know the exam and what they're looking for. They're two separate things entirely. And Nathan's courses are going to allow you to have that leg up. Level 3, walked in 100% confident, and that is the one exam where I actually finished prior to that 30 minutes when they lock the doors and you can't leave. I finished prior to that, and I walked out, everyone's still there taking the exam. I walked out knowing I passed. And I did. I wasn't even sweating it when I got the results. It was of course it's nerve-wracking. You're waiting for weeks to get it, but I knew I was going to pass. But I would not have been that confident had it not been for Nathan and his courses. So I can't say enough good things about Nathan and his courses. If you are a candidate and you want to pass the first time, do yourself a favor and take those courses.